Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Wednesday, the 29th of October. Hopefully you're all ready for an eventful afternoon. I probably won't be here for FOMC. But if you aren't aware, we do have FOMC, and if you are paying attention to any of the data on that, in fact, I'll just pull it over just so you can see. It's pretty much like 99%, 98%. 98% likelihood of a 0.25, 0.25% decrease. So, yeah, I mean, I would imagine it's already, like, say, kind of baked into the prices. But yeah, just be aware, obviously, that is at 2 p.m. today. We also have Trump meeting president of China as well, pretty much 100% chance by Friday. So if anyone is long like I am on JD, you'll be a happy man or a happy woman soon. Looking on the Qs, I just had a quick look for the expected move on ChatGPT for the Qs based on FOMC percentages. And it pretty much gave me a range of 625 to 640, which is super interesting because that is pretty much within our ranges and on our indicators for our ETH high and ETH low. What's really interesting is if we look on both of the indexes for the Qs and the SPY, we hit the monthly high on SPY on Monday, and we hit the Qs monthly high on Monday also. Now, the percentage move where we could come down to, and again, I am not saying we're going to sell off or anything like that. I'm not going to trade the short side. All I'm saying is the potential ranges to the downside if we did have any bearish news to say, let's say it's all priced in and this is just a rebalance. If that is the case, interestingly enough, that low, potential low, is actually coming right back into the monthly high on the Qs. Which, if we then translate that to what that means on the NQ is, if we zoom out again on Monday we traded the monthly high, okay, the monthly high here, okay, the monthly high, the monthly ATR high, and subsequently we have traveled 20% above. We're actually at 125. Let's just put this to normal. We're at 125% on the monthly range, which means we've traded 25% above our average, which is okay. It just means it's just not something that we are necessarily wanting to bid or bet, you know, we're going to continue to keep going up and up and up, right? We play the averages, and that's what obviously works for us each day, each week, each month. So I just wanted to make you aware. I know we've had this smart buy zone down here ever since pretty much the start of the week, and we just haven't had those retracements. So obviously we just don't go long. The point of my smart buy zones, or the point of my retracement levels, is we never know if we're going to get them, but we don't necessarily care because all we're doing is reacting when we do get there. I think a lot of traders potentially get caught up in thinking we need to short those levels down to that area, which is just an absolute no-go and not something that I would ever recommend unless, again, we are bearish on the BX trender. This indicator, again, which is what I use for my daily bias on TradingView, we have been green ever since all of last week and all of this week. So there's no way on earth I would try to take, and I haven't obviously taken any shorts this week or pretty much last week. And there's a huge reason for that. And again, that is the reason, right? So make sure you are looking at that for momentum as well as the CMP indicators. For anyone that has purchased the Masterclass 2.0, you are getting early access to the indicators and also 3 months worth of the indicators for free. And I've been working with Sam this morning, and we are very close to being able to release them. It's probably going to be maybe tomorrow. So anyone that has purchased them, again, you will have early access, and I will also release some of the course as well. So you've got access to the indicator sections on there as well. So super exciting. You're going to love it. You really are going to love it. So that's just a side note. Miller, one of the members, did ask me to cover my extensions for, I'm assuming, this week. And since we gapped up so much on Monday, my trade, if I just take my indicators off, right? I just take all of my drawings off for a second, and I'll just take the indicators off as well for a second. All I've done this week, I didn't pay attention to any of the sort of higher time frame extensions because we haven't had any retracements. So all I did is follow the traditional on Monday. So if you have on your chart Monday's low at 935, we traded a halfway back, and that is what has been the only extension I've paid attention to. So you'll notice that went to its completions. I took the overnight highs, the overnight high to high extension on that on Tuesday, which was yesterday, and was why I made so much money yesterday. But what did I make yesterday? 2530 times 5. I made 12.6k yesterday on the overnight session, and the reason for that is, again, I was bidding. I wasn't necessarily bidding this 50. I was waiting for that to break. We put the indicators on, diamond momentum, and we were in the true trend, but the true trend isn't showing because I've got the settings only to show the current time frame. But we traded a halfway back down here, same anchor new high, traded the RTH halfway back, well, sorry, a full session halfway back once, twice. Full negative 100 has been completed this morning, and we have traded a green diamond and a triangle momentum, and we are somewhat in the true trend. So a high to high will be valid, Miller, if you were asking. The high to high will be valid, and I don't think I'll necessarily be bidding it, but if you want to just be mechanical and say, look, we are bullish on the BX, we are at or above the previous day highs, we are in a same anchor new high, we have traded green diamond support, triangle momentum support, and in true trend, then you've got everything on your side, bar the fact that we are now trading 25% above our average monthly range, which we know on average is not something that we should really push too much, right? How do we know that? Well, typically, most of the time we stay inside of the monthly range, but when we do trade it, like this M here, we tend to sell off, right? Just like what we did the prior month. You can see we never traded those ranges. So when we do trade those ranges, again, never traded those ranges, traded the monthly high on the 15th of May and pretty much went sideways to all the way down and ended back up into the end of the month. You can see going further back, traded the monthly low back in the 10th of May, got below it, back above, below, back above, below, and closed pretty much at the low of the month. So point being is, you can't see on my screen that many examples, if any, that we actually get above and sustain, right? I can't see any. Back in 2024 September, but we closed at the monthly high. So again, point being is, this is not the area that you should be pushing longs aggressively, right? So just, I want to preface that this is still a long market. Everything is still bullish, but again, the range is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. For me, it's so much easier waiting for November to start, which is only 3 days away, and at that point we will have another 1700, hopefully a little bit more, because their averages will get bigger, maybe about 1800 points of range. So that's my plan, really, just to foot off the gas for the next couple of days, end the week good. I've already got a nice payout coming to me tonight, which is $5,000. So I'm a happy man, and that was made yesterday on the overnight. So again, I'm a happy man. I will wait patiently for November to start, and we'll see what range we get. But if we are wanting to take longs, it'll just be a case, as I always say, play the extensions until they break. That current extension would be the 38, which has been the break and retest of yesterday's highs, which is very, very clear. And let's not overcomplicate things. This has been very clear. Yesterday's highs, break, rally, retest, and this is exactly where we are at the moment. Again, daily is bullish. We're at or above the RTH high. We're above the trend lines. We have diamond and triangle momentum on our side. We're kind of in the true trend. It's like sketchy, but we're very close to being in or out at the moment. So just wait for this to start properly. And completion targets, if we are going to go higher, we've got our weekly ATR high at 26,500s and our ETH high of day at 25 26,560s. So we do have range magnitude on the day, which is really nice, 200 to 300 points. But we do have to be very, very, very cognizant of the fact that we are extremely extended from our monthly ATR. And if you look, the ETH low lines up with the monthly high, meaning we could come all the way down 400 odd points, 300, 400 odd points, and we should not be surprised, right? So again, what kind of plan do I have to trade that? I don't really know, because at that point, I wouldn't necessarily be trying to short this, because one, that takes you to the previous day low. So trying to take a short when you're at the previous day low is going to be very hard. You'd want to see breaks and continuations of that, hopefully like on a multi-day continuation. And again, just to reiterate, the daily BX is still green. And even if we have a bearish day today, it's still probably going to be dark green to, to zero. So I don't even think it's worth trying to short today, even if we do sell off. So personally, I would just rather not trade. So we'll see what we can do. If I don't trade, I'll try to be as entertaining as possible and try and guide you through the markets as best I can, even if I don't really do much. Again, I'm waiting for one of my payouts, well, 5 payouts from one prop firm, but I do still have other accounts that I can trade in the background. It'll just be a case of accepting the risk, knowing that we are at, the highest point on the monthly range, and just being aware that we're not going to move much. And if we do, we are very lucky, and let's just be grateful for the move that we have. And that's it, really. That is it. Trade the market we're in, not the market we want to be in, and do what we do each day. And I will see you all on Whoop in the trading room. Any questions, make sure to ask them there, and I will go over them. And that is everything. So yeah, everyone on YouTube who's not a member, click the link in the description below to sign up. And I will see you over in the trading room.